Hey, welcome to Living the Logic. This is Professor Manish Narayan, and today I'm going to show you how to set up Langflow to talk to your local SQL Server database and with the help of an agent, basically be your backend SQL developer for you. So let's get started. As you can see, I have SQL Server Management Studio up and running. I have a dummy database here I use for one of my other courses, which is the airline booking system. Basically, it has a table holding booking records. As you can see, ID, flight ID, passenger name, seat number, and the booking date. And then that's tied to a flight here. So we have the flight information, origin, destination, departure, arrival. Okay. We have other tables as well, but I'm going to focus on just these two. Well, basically, the entire database here, we're going to hook it into our Langflow and our agentic workflow. So in my last video on Langflow, I went over the installation setup, basic setup, how to create a simple chat input agent, chat output. All right. So what I'm going to show you is how quickly you can connect to your SQL Server database and using chat input, start asking questions about your data, where you can take advantage of a SQL database tool here, uh, which hooks into your LLM agent. And that agent basically will answer any question about your database, about the information contained within the database. Okay. So again, similar to last video, I'm using common tools here, chat input, chat output, and an agent. Again, I entered my OpenAI API key. I'm using the GPT 4o mini as the model. All right. So here are the instructions for this agent. Okay. So basically, I told the agent you're a SQL Server assistant with access to a tool called SQL Database. All right. When the user asks a question about the data, write a single select statement to answer it. Always qualify table names, with the DBO table name if known. Default the top 200 result set unless the user requests otherwise. Then call the SQL database tool with the query and then return the results in a short summary. Okay. Um, Again, some safeguards here. Only run select queries. If the user asks to change the data, do not run it. Ask for confirmation. And I gave it some basic schema script information. So if the agent is not sure which table column to use, I told it to execute the following first to inspect the schema and then write the final query and then call the SQL database tool. So that's basically the prompt. Okay. On the SQL database component, I got it from data sources, and that's SQL Server database. I drag it in, and make sure that you set it in tool mode on. Okay, and I drag the output, the tool set, into the tools of the agent. All right. Now, regarding the connection string, um, what I'm going to do is basically uh, add the MS SQL pyodbc connection or connector. And it's running on my local host. This is my database name. And then I'm using the ODBC driver here. Okay, so I would copy that. And again, depending on what type of driver you have, you can update this. All right, so I'm going to copy that basically and paste it into the database URL component here. Okay. All right. Once I have the agent, I just hook up the response to the chat output. All right. And let's give it a try. So I'm going to open the playground. I'm going to say, give me, or we can say first, list all the tables defined in the database. All right, let's see how good the agent does on that. All right, again, beautiful. All right, so check this out. We have an agent that's connected to our SQL Server schema, our database. And now I can ask it any questions. And I may not have a SQL developer or a database engineer at the given moment, but I can just use an agent that acts as that SQL developer, right? So list all the tables defined in the database. I have bookings, flights, notifications, and payments. And if you look at my SQL Server schema here, I do have bookings, flights, notifications, payments. Okay. And then I can ask a question like, give me all the booking information for flights leaving New York to Los Angeles. Okay, so let's see how it does there. All right. So again, it's going to be executing the steps here, and I'll show you the detailed steps. All right. This is insane, right? So we don't have a SQL engineer, but it's able to execute and not just execute, but develop SQL queries for me and provide me the information. Okay. So um, the query returned 4 bookings associated with various flights. Did not work due to missing details in the flights table. If you need further information, please let me know. Here are the booking details for flights leaving New York to Los Angeles. Okay. Again, we can ask it questions such as, uh, give me the earliest um, or give me the latest booking date, let's say. So again, how quickly it comes back, right? January 12th, 2025, 7:01 UTC, the latest booking, and I can confirm that from the database. January, so if I order this, let's say order by booking date descending, and I get January 12th, 7:01, perfect, all right. 50 UTC if you need information, all right, beautiful. So as you can see, you can make this thing more complex, okay? Let me give you an idea of what it's running behind the scenes, right? So if you look at the first query, list all the tables defined in the database. Basically, it ran a query, the informational query that I provided in the prompt, and it gave me the output here, okay, all the schemas, table names. And the second prompt, give me all the booking information for flights leaving New York to Los Angeles, exit top 200 from bookings, or flight ID this, where departure city is this, arrival city is this. Beautiful. Do you see it generates the query for me and it outputs it? Okay, if you go to the last one, give me the latest booking date. Let's see what it generated. So select top one booking date from bookings, order by booking date descending, right? So basically what I wrote here manually, the agent actually generated that, and it provided not only the generation of the query, but the execution of that query. Okay. So again, this is think of it as your your SQL agent, all right, who's going to be executing anything related to SQL um, tools for you. Okay, so very basic. The agent has an OpenAI API key. We have a chat input going to the input of the agent. We have the response of the agent going to the output. And the most important piece here is the SQL Database tool, where I'm using MS SQL and pyodbc to connect to localhost SQL Server. Okay, I run in tool mode, so I can connect it as a tool to the agent. Well, I hope you had fun. This is probably one of the fastest ways to generate or create a SQL engineer that's working as an agent for you, hooked into the OpenAI, executing queries for you, generating SQL statements for you. Again, you can hook up to Oracle, you can hook up to any data source system, as long as you have the right URL and the right libraries in place. So hope you had fun. I'll see you in the next video.